Welcome, college basketball fans, to the Full Court Press Podcast with LT and Sammy D. This is the podcast that brings you legendary stories from college basketball's golden era and dives in deep with a current analysis of today's game. Get ready for the most energetic and entertaining college basketball podcast around. Let's get it.
Questions.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to another Full Court Press, a college basketball coaches show. We've got two full court presses this week. First one I did alone because Sam decides is lazy and doesn't like to get up in the morning. Don't give me this excuse that you're 2 hours time difference in mine, but Sammy D is back in the saddle, powered by the Full Court Network. Sam, we're going to have some fun. We've had some people that have coached with him before. And we've got some interesting questions, but we've got the Golden Hurricanes. I don't know what the hell a Golden Hurricane is. I mean, we had the Blue Raiders. Now we got the Golden Hurricanes. We got University of Tulsa head men's basketball coach Eric Konkol. Welcome to the Full Court Press, Coach.
Guys, it's great to be with you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Sam, where do you want to start with on this one?
No, we're going to start easy, LT.
Okay.
I mean, Coach is off to a really great start with Tulsa and the men's program. So I'd love for Coach, if you don't mind talking about, kind of the first month, 6 weeks of actually competitive play against other teams, and what you thought you were going to see these first 7-8 games versus where you're at now.
Well, as you know, guys, in today's college landscape, you're trying to figure out who you have as you go. I mean, we thought that we recruited a team that would be very competitive. We thought that we had a level of skill at a number of positions. But until you put it together and play against other people, you really don't know. And thankfully for us, we had a few guys come back that were younger players in our program that we could see some growth. David Green, who we had 4 years ago at when I was at Louisiana Tech, we had some.
Coach, just wait a second. How old is David Green? I feel like he's my financial advisor. He looks like he's like 38, 45.
Hey, he's not as old as a lot of guys. I mean, he's still just 23 years old, so he's still spry, if you will.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Coach. I had to ask because I saw his photo. I'm like, dude, he's as old as me, and I'm in my late 40s.
Hey, he's doing great, and we love that he's here. But again, once we put it all together, you're just anxious for that first scrimmage against somebody else, and we've got a long ways to go, but we like the start that we're off to.
Yeah. I really like their non-conference schedule. You put together a really competitive non-conference. I mean, Rhode Island is always a competitive program. Oral Roberts, I mean, that's, Oral Roberts and their history. You lost by 1 to Kansas State. I think Kansas State's really looking good this year. Coach Ting, I think, has figured it out. It's really improved. Beat Austin Peay. Austin Peay is a great program. Beat San Jose. You killed San Jose State on your birthday. That was cold. We already talked about that. And then you beat a really good Northern Iowa team. I mean, That's a really good non-conference, Coach. How difficult was it to put that together?
It's one of the great challenges. I mean, we talk about the things outside of practice. It's recruiting and then it's scheduling. And both are challenging. Scheduling more than ever. I think about a number of places that I've been where I was an assistant and we did the scheduling. You're scheduling against the RPI. You're trying to figure it out. The net is such a different animal. What happens typically is, and what we've tried to do is we're going to play less home games. We're even playing 2 non-1s that are not counters. We're playing 4 neutral site games and 3 games on the road. We're trying to do everything we can to improve our net. And what happens is you're playing a lot of teams that are similar to you, like that you hope to be similar to, like Mountain West, A-10, Missouri Valley types teams. And we were trying to find the best ones we could.
Yeah.
You mentioned kind of like this new era of college basketball and kind of how hard it is to put the pieces together. I mean, with your style of basketball, I mean, you're known around the country as, one of the best offensive minded coaches, fast paced, high efficiency, really seems like you've recruited some like high IQ guys, who just know the game of basketball. Is that kind of how is your recruiting changed, the past couple of years as college basketball has changed? You mentioned David Green. I mean, having that maturity on the team, versus some of the freshmen. And how is that blueprint all kind of fitting in with your playing style?
I think the blueprint has changed in in one respect where offensive efficiency is way up. So if you look at in the last 4 years, the team that was 100th in the country in offensive efficiency last year, that rating would have been 26th 4 years prior. So
Jeez.
whether it's older players in college, the way the game is being officiated, the way the game is being played throughout, you've got to find a way to score. And frankly, in the last 3 years, you've got to find a way to manage your budget. You've got to be able to find a way to prioritize certain things. We absolutely prioritized shooting in this last class as best we could at 4 positions at least, and have good depth where you feel like we could have a great effort type style on defensive end and let our defense turn into some offense. I always felt that's the best way to play basketball.
Yeah. Sam, that's too good of a question. I'm done. I can't follow some of my garbage. I mean, you want to ask another question? You left me.
No, I mean, I kind of like, I mean, I'm just kind of fascinated with Coach Konkol's kind of history. And I mean, when you're able to spend that kind of time with Coach L, Coach Larranga at Miami, I want to.
And George Mason.
Exactly. I mean, I kind of want to talk about, mentors you've had throughout your career, and kind of leading up to your head coaching experience, at Louisiana Tech and now, at Tulsa. Can you talk a little about that experience that led up to your head coaching experience?
Happy to. I mean, I've been very lucky. I mean, you think about we're all a collection of our experiences, and in coaching, those experiences come from the people you get to play for and work for. I had a great high school coach in Greg Jensen in a small country town in Amherst, Wisconsin. Played for Bo Ryan for 2 years, Wisconsin Platteville, and Greg Gard was on the staff, Rob Jeter, Saul Phillips. Unbelievable education early in college. Then I worked for Buzz Peterson for 2 years, one here at Tulsa in Tennessee. I even spent 2 years at the high school level with Ken Novak Jr. in Hopkins High School in Minnesota, who's in many respects the best high school coach in the history of the state.
Jeez.
And then at a young age, I just beat down Coach L's door, and he hires me at George Mason and spent 11 years on his staff. And incredible education into how the game works, how to treat people, how to organize your life, how to still be a good husband and father. And then, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the people that I worked with that became head coaches. Mike Gillian, Bill Courtney, Scott Cherry, Chris Caputo, Mike Huger, Adam Fisher. All those guys became Division I head coaches. So I was very, very lucky to be on a staff like that with such good people.
Stop name dropping, Coach. Jeez.
I was given the opportunity.
Yeah, well,
no, but it's crazy when you kind of look at like the fraternity or brotherhood of coaches, right? And you're seeing a lot of more tenured coaches. They're not complaining about what's happening in college basketball. They're either evolving or some are moving into retirement faster than maybe they want to. But have you seen the kind of brotherhood of coaches getting stronger with everything that's happening with the transfer portal and NIL and things like that? Are you talking more with some of these coaches than you might not have been 10 years ago?
I always think that there's a brotherhood with the people that you have worked with. That's your closest connections. That's I try not to schedule my best friends because we talk so much about from head coach to head coach about what you're dealing with. And it could be from the X and O's of the game coming up, or, how are you navigating the transfer portal, NIL, fundraising, admissions process at your particular institution. And so I think there's always been conversation. I think that's just even more in depth. There's so many other variables that go into winning now. There's still the score, how you play offense, how you play defense, but how you get to that point is so different than ever before. And it's always important to have good confidants and friends that you can speak with.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to recruiting, right?
Well, I think that's a priority number one. And you can find out from, hey, what are you hearing? What is this agent saying? Is the number that they're giving you the same that they're giving us? Who are they up against? I mean, there's so much stuff out there that you're trying to figure out. And this is that time. It's that transitional period. I do think and hope that there's going to be some guardrails or just more consistency in how we're dealing with things. But until that point, we've got to figure it out.
Hey, Coach, Santa Claus ain't real, man. I hate to break it to you. Hopefully no kids watch this show that believe in Santa, but guardrails. I don't even know how to spell that, but Sam, I'm down to like 2 digits for my NIL deal. So if you need someone for like $18, I'm your guy. But so you're obviously trending in the right direction. Okay. Started off 5-25, 16-15, 13-20. Last year was kind of an interesting year for you. When you take a job at this high major level or even mid major, whatever level it is, I don't want to like pinpoint one level, but they're all the same. You used to have like 3 to 4 years to build. Okay. With the current college basketball landscape with NIL and all the other stuff, do you feel like you have less time to really build a culture, an identity, and a team now that you've got so much more money involved? And usually when there's more money, it means more pressure.
It's a great question. And again,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
a great question.
Yeah, I think it's every institution's a little bit different, right? And then the expectations that come with the resources that are provided in comparison to the rest of your league and how you're going to put it together. I mean, the 3 years, the previous 3 seasons that we've been here have coincided with all this change. And as an institution, we've continued to evolve, and that evolution through our leadership, our athletic director, Justin Moore, our board of directors, our president, everything else, that more than ever has become more and more important. And because it's not just putting a team together, it's how you put that team together. It's with the resources provided, with your admissions process, degree planning, who you can accept, all those types of things. So it's been, of course, would have loved to have come here and rattle off conference championships and 20-win seasons right away.
Yeah.
But everybody here understands that this has been a process. We've had to navigate some different things, and thankfully they've felt like we're the coaching staff to keep pushing forward to figure it out.
Yeah. More importantly, how much has Tulsa King helped you?
So it's funny. It is absolutely something, so many people haven't been to Oklahoma before when we recruit in the transfer portal outside our region. I'll say, okay, what's the first thing you think of when you think of Tulsa and Oklahoma? And naturally, you'll have a number of people say, hey, coach, the Oklahoma City Thunder. And so we'll talk about that. Tulsa King is right up there, though. We got a number of parents that are watching that show. And actually, the Mayo Hotel, give them a shout out where Sylvester Stallone stayed in season 1. We have our recruits stay there.
Nice.
Love that.
Nice.
That's good. I want to kind of move. We talked a little about the non-conference schedule. Talk a little about the American Conference. Like expectations for that. I mean, it seems like the conference is as strong as it's ever been. The past several years. You got a lot of top teams in that top half of the conference up there. What are your expectations as you kind of move into there, and talk a little bit about some of the other teams that you're some of those games you have circled on that conference schedule?
Well, as we mentioned earlier, I mean, we're in that kind of that tier with a number of other teams or other leagues, and our great conference-wide initiative is to try to be a multiple bid league. And so to do that, we're cheering for everybody in our league big time in all these Thanksgiving tournaments and non-conference matchups. You look at our league, there's just great tradition throughout. You have teams that have played in the NCAA tournament multiple times, programs that have been strong in multiple sports, people that really care. And also for our guys that we recruit, you get to travel to some great cities and see different parts of the country. We're across several time zones. So, again, we're cheering for everybody. And then once we get to league play, you're locking horns with some really good teams, good coaches. Like everybody, you see a lot of new faces. I think when you do preseason polls, our coaches poll matters as to how we schedule in the league. It's so hard to do. The national average is about 10 guys turning over each year. Our league is no different. So a lot of really good coaches, really good programs.
Yeah. It's amazing to think, like, you look at the conference and where Ken Palm is. I mean, Memphis is 2-4, and I'm sure you're cheering for them. They're 70th in Ken Palm. I mean, you're 84th. South Florida has had some up and down, but they're Brian Hodgson will get them going. I mean, they're 95th. I mean, UAB. I mean, you want to talk about a coach that's been there forever and, not lost. Yaxel Langenberg graduated and went to Michigan, and he's 6-2, I believe, at UAB. I mean, the league as a whole is so strong. I mean, North Texas. I mean, Sam and I, we've had Coach Hodge on the show. We've had Daniel Robinson. I mean, it's some really good programs, and there should be a mandate. You want to talk about guardrails? There should be a mandate where the Power 4 or 5s have to play, X, Y, Z instead of playing 75 and less. Ken Palm and what is it, 300 plus, Sam? What have we heard where, they win by like 50 points and they play a Bible school and, wherever it is, which, you have to schedule because it's hard to get home games at any level.
Yeah, you said it, guys. I mean, there's scheduling and the way the metric works. I mean, back in the RPI days, we could create all these spreadsheets and figure out winning percentage and and you could realize that playing the league champion in the A Sun, or a team that you thought would win 22 games, that was actually give you a better strength of schedule than the last place team in the Big Ten. Well, that's no longer the case. And getting those games is next to impossible. I mean, we were felt grateful to Kansas State for allowing us to go play their one game. Now, they're not returning it like we'd love them to, but just be able to get that game, because the fact of the matter is, in the new net or Ken Palm and all these predictive metrics, we go to Oral Roberts, which is always a very challenging crosstown type game. We win by 1 on the road and our Ken Palm drops by 9, but we go to Kansas State and lose by 1 on the road and our Ken Palm increases by 9, or improves by 9. So, like, go figure, right? And so the net is still we haven't been provided the exact formula, but scoring margin is a big deal. Where you play is a big deal. And we're just trying to control as many things as we can.
Yeah. I wonder who Ken Pomeroy is. I'd love to get him on the show, Sam.
We should. Yeah.
Hey, you can email him. I just emailed him the other day and asked a question, and he doesn't respond to everything, but I think it's ratings@kenpom.com.
Yeah.
For all the listeners. Now he's going to get an influx of emails from all your listeners, but
he deserves everything he's put us through.
Yeah. He ain't getting no fruit basket from Sam Davidson this year.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So, Coach, we talked a little about guardrails, talked transfer portal, NIL. If you had like a magic wand and like the NCAA was listening to you, and
who says they're not, Sam? That's kind of rude.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you had that platform and you could change one rule in college basketball, on the court or off the court, what would that be?
I've been a proponent for the 5 years of eligibility for quite some time. I just think for a number of reasons. Let's go with the first thing. And I think college graduation still should be a big deal. And the number of times you transfer, you lose credits, giving guys 5 years and just saying, hey, here's a 5-year window. Of course, you have to make progress towards a degree. You go into that 5th year, like, you've got a real chance to graduate. Mm-hmm. Second, I just think it removes all the ambiguity around injuries and red shirts and everything else. It's, guys are being compensated. It's there's an expectation to be available if you need to be available. Getting out of this business of medical redshirting and all that stuff. I just think make it 5 years, make it really simple. I know that's much more complex than that, but I think it'd be a good thing.
Yeah. I'd agree with you, Sam, wouldn't you? I thought he was going to say ban us from the NCAA tournament or just any NCAA game, but that's good. We're working toward that. So before we go to the shot clock, I want to ask you, we've heard that Coach Larranga is a big movie goer. All right. Like big, and you've probably spent a lot of time in a movie theater with him. Is that safe to say?
Very, very accurate and safe to say. Yes.
Yes. Would you say what was your favorite movie you've ever watched with Coach Larranga?
Well, I can tell you this. So I know he went very frequently in Fairfax, Virginia, and he used to buy like he was 52 when I went to work for him. And I remember when he turned 55, he took advantage of the senior citizen discount and bought like 100 movie passes at such a discounted rate, because him and Mrs. Larranga would go all the time. But he would come to the office. Now, he wasn't into sci-fi at all, but he would see almost anything. It was the one moment that he would shut his phone off, decompress, be entertained, but at the same time, he would use things from the movie if it was applicable to the team. And I remember one time he watched The Last Samurai and he came to the office and he talked about it all the time. I went to that movie 3 times with him and our whole staff. Like, it was right across the street, and he's like, "Hey, let's go see this again. I think I might have missed something. Let's go see it again." But, it came to commitment and discipline and everything else. But that was just absolutely the one I remember the most as his favorite of all time. I will also tell you this. There was a Blockbuster across the street, and he used to be in charge. He would take the responsibility of picking out the movie for the bus rides, because back then the CAA was largely a bus drive. So he wanted full responsibility for the movies that were picked out.
Oh, geez. Oh, God, Sam. Can you imagine those bus rides?
No, that'd be. I mean, Coach L's got some good taste, from what we've heard. So it's yeah, but good story for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Are you ready for the shot clock, LT?
Let's go. Let's get a little bit weird.
So, Coach, we have a thing called the shot clock. LT is going to fire off like 4 or 5 questions. Should be quick little one hitters, but if they lead to a short story, the platform is going to be all yours. Luke, Let's get it.
All right. Okay. Biggest misconception of American Conference basketball?
That it's not a basketball league. I think it's an all sports league.
Mm-hmm. Like it.
Safe. That's a safe answer. Thank you. Favorite arena you've ever coached in, and which is one arena you've always wanted to coach in?
Well, I love the Reynolds Center here. I mean, I think it's really nice. It's been kept nice. It was 3 years old when I was a GA here. But I will say the place that impacted me the most that I felt like, wow, this is different, was Allen Fieldhouse at Kansas. When I was a GA here, we went up there and played a non-conference game. Roy Williams was the coach. Buzz Peterson had played for him at Carolina. It was a cool deal.
Yeah, yeah. What's the one arena you've always wanted to coach in that you haven't yet?
Well, I've never been to UCLA. I just think the history there is really, really cool. Just always that's one, like on the West Coast. Like, I haven't really coached out there a whole lot, from UCLA and Arizona, those great West Coast type environments.
Yeah, yeah. Did you beat Kansas?
We did not. No.
How soon did they do the
rock chalk Jayhawk?
Yeah, the rock chalk Jayhawk on the hind left to go? Was it like 2 minutes? Was it like a minute? Was it like 5 minutes? Because it's the worst when it's like 3 minutes and above.
It was, it was a good game for a while, and we had a really good team that year. We were young early, but I know it was under the last media. I would say in the last 2 minutes or so, the way I remember it. But again, you hear about those things, but that was a cool place.
Yeah, yeah. Sam and I grew up going to a lot of basketball games at Kansas, just because of him being from Kansas City, and my uncle was a professor and head of the athletic board or something. So we were very fortunate to go to a lot of games and see a lot of great teams. It is a really cool place. So if we asked your players, okay, if you weren't a basketball coach, what would Coach Konkol be doing?
Whew. That is a great question. They know I'm a miserable golfer. They know I don't have a whole lot of hobbies. And they know how much I love this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do. I don't know what they would ask. I don't know how they'd answer that question.
Like bachelor's degree in kinesiology, master's in sports management. It seems like you always wanted to be in a competitive kind of arena, huh?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, when I went to Wisconsin Platteville, my dad grew up as a carpenter and worked for a construction company. And I was a non-scholarship player, and I had a summer job working at a sewage treatment plant on the job site that he was overseeing. And I was good at math and science. I just wanted to play ball, and I really liked Coach Gard and Coach Ryan and Coach Jeter, and so engineering is a big part of that school. My dad, I just remember him saying, even in Wisconsin, it was hot outside, and he said, "Hey, engineers, they're in the air conditioned job trailer. You want to do that?" So I did that for 3 semesters. Is interesting, but I quickly shifted to more exercise science and thinking about a career in sports, and then that turned into working summer basketball camps for 2 summers, and I was hooked immediately. Like I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. When I could see my playing career dwindling, by the day. And great decision on my part. I've been very lucky.
Yeah. The summer basketball camp circuit, if as a counselor, is pretty. I did it a couple times, and as you can see, I'm not a coach, so that should tell you something. But you can get hooked. I mean, it's really a cool deal and stuff like that. And it, if you're willing to grind for 125 to 225 bucks a week, you pretty much know what you want to do in life. So
it impacted me greatly. And what was fun about it, looking back later, is all the people you met through it. I mean, so Duffy Conroy and our staff, we were college teammates at Platteville, and we drove all over the country, and we worked camps at Kentucky, Illinois, Iowa, John Kress's camp at the College of Charleston, Morgan Wooten's camp up in Maryland. And I later ended up recruiting some of those guys from DeMatha and O'Connell. But I just loved it. It was fun after the fact, talking to coaches and being around. And yeah, I wish everybody could get a chance to do that.
Those days are over, right? I mean, you don't see that anymore, but it's unfortunate. So obviously been around a lot of great coaches and done very well yourself. Give me your funniest recruiting story.
Funniest recruiting story. Let's see. I think about, there's so many different stories. I mean, I remember going to recruit Shane Larkin in Orlando and going to the house, and of course his dad, Barry, a Hall of Fame baseball player, and Shane had a shyness to him. And I remember walking in the house, and there were these huge fish tanks, like as soon as you walk in the door, and they had piranhas in them. And I was like, I've never seen that. And then I also saw Feeding Time, and I was like, this is the most amazing thing. I'm like, Shane, you ever feed the piranhas? He goes, I don't go anywhere near those things. Like, I just remember that very clearly. But so many stories from recruiting and how they go back and forth. But I think of the things that you do. Mike Morrison at George Mason, he was a great big kid. All he wanted to eat was hamburgers and steak. And we went to Five Guys twice and went to a steak joint the third time. I mean, these are the things you do. But one funny story I can think, other than the piranhas. For some reason, the piranhas came to my mind right away.
Okay. Sam, do you want to tell him, or should I tell him?
What's that?
We're both DePaul graduates.
Oh.
Shane Larkin.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. It's all right. He had a good career for you guys. He was a nice.
I wouldn't be here without Shane Larkin.
Yeah.
I know. He's still playing. I think he's playing in Turkey still right now.
Yeah.
He has been arguably the number one player over in Europe now for a long time.
Yeah.
Up there. I mean, he has had a remarkable career.
Yeah. I wonder if he has any piranhas in Turkey.
I think he told me they went freshwater or calmed it down after a while. Actually, parents moved. I think they're down in South Florida now. But yeah, I'll never forget. That was I've never seen that before.
Well, you won. All right, Coach. What would your spirit animal be?
Spirit animal. My wife loves her Welsh Corgi, and I'd be in her good favor if I became a Welsh Corgi dog. I know that, but I'd like to say that, I think of horses. When we lived in Louisiana, we were around horses all the time.
Yeah.
Like there's a calmness to them, but there's a competitiveness, there's a powerfulness about them. When they know when it's time, when it's not time. I would go that route.
Okay.
I like it.
We've heard it all, Sam. Never a horse. I like that. I
do like that.
Thoroughbred horse too, I might add. All right, last question, Coach. And this kind of touches on Blockbuster and Netflix and everything else. So they're making a Hollywood movie about your life. Okay. What would the title be? Who would play you? Who would play Coach Larranga? And what would the theme song be?
Oh my gosh, this is a lot.
It is a lot.
I would say that, the title would be The Lucky One. I don't know anybody that's been more lucky than me.
Nice.
I mean, it's been the amount of good fortune that's happened time and time again. Who would play me?
I wonder if he's ever met Coach Martelli Sr.'s dog, Lucky.
Oh, geez.
Have not.
Don't ask.
You said who would play me
Yeah.
and who would play Coach Larranga?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't remember the actor's name, but there is an actor out there. I had to find his name that is like a spitting image of Coach Al, and I cannot remember his name. He's been in some of those like kind of like Army police law type movies. I had to find his name. Who would play me? I don't know. I'll give Steve Kerr a cameo. Maybe, I don't know. Like that's the one that's been said.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Theme song. I'll go. Mama Said "Knock You Out" by L. Cool J.
I like it. There you go.
Greatest songs ever. Well, at least as an actor, you didn't say Denzel Washington, because I think that's the most popular one. And no offense, I don't see any similarities. But Mama Said "Knock You Out." I mean, I've got my boys on that song, and they're 12 and 10. I mean, that's that's a great song right there. That's a great song. I like it. I like it. I'm so excited now.
I know. We're gonna have to put some background music to that one.
Yeah.
Great song. Great song.
One of the greatest. Yeah.
So, Coach, we appreciate you coming on the show. Last minute, I'm just going to turn it over to you. You've got the platform. Anything you want to share with the Golden Hurricane fan base? The students, the alumni, the boosters. Anything they could be looking forward to.
Look at his face. He looks so happy
throughout the season.
Yeah,
anything you want to share with
so
them?
he's going to ask. This is what he's going to ask you, because he says every episode. So you got last minute or two for the episode. Anything you want to say to the Golden Hurricane faithful, boosters, fans, just how excited they should be for this season?
I've been saying this for a while. This is such a great time to be involved at the University of Tulsa. We're going through such transformational change in so many good ways, and we feel like we're kind of a great slice of that. And I absolutely believe that we can do it big here. It's been incremental improvements, and that improvement's been up and down and 2 steps forward, maybe a step back. But we are so excited about what's going on here, and not just week to week. It's day by day, hour by hour. And we've got a home game tomorrow. Jump on board, keep buying up those tickets. Let's get the Reynolds Center popping again.
Yeah. Well, Coach, you're going to stick on for one more second. We really appreciate it, Coach Konkol, and loved having you. We love talking about Tulsa. And why is it a Golden Hurricane? I don't know why one of us didn't ask that. Like, I don't think a hurricane should be golden.
I know the answer to this. It's actually pretty fascinating, but Coach, I'll let you share the story.
So this is what I've been told. It was like in the 1920s, and back then our football coach was also the athletic director. Like, that was common, and there was a number of things being thrown around, and like a lot of places, the school colors were picked before the mascot even, and so we were wearing gold jerseys playing a football game. There was thoughts of making us the Tulsa Tornadoes. But apparently at that time, Georgia Tech had already taken that name, that they were the Tornadoes or were going to be the Tornadoes, or he caught wind of that. And they were also wearing the color gold. And so it felt like, I can't take that. I got to do something else. And there was a game where Tulsa played really, really well. And the guy on the loudspeaker, the PA guy in front of the whole football, they were playing so well. And they said, hey, Tulsa is roaring like a golden hurricane. And it just kind of stuck.
Yeah. Sam, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. This wasn't
correct.
I wasn't sure what to believe anymore, but
no, a lot of back and forth between Tulsa and Georgia Tech. Right?
Yeah.
Because I think before they became the Golden Hurricanes, they were actually called the Yellow Jackets. And like, that's what Georgia Tech obviously became known as. So it was pretty interesting how it all kind of unfolded.
I see a new series going on each year.
No, right?
The battle of whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, let's do it. I just got you a game, Coach. Let's Coach Sotomayor.
Make it happen.
Yeah,
make it happen.
He doesn't respond to us, Coach. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But Coach, you're going to stick on one more second. Really good episode, Sammy. Really excited for Tulsa basketball. We love the American Conference. Obviously, we've got some history with it being in Conference USA, both as a coach and player, which was the old Conference USA is now the American. So we're cheering for you, Coach. Keep it going at Reynolds Coliseum. Not Reynolds Coliseum. Is it Reynolds Coliseum?
Reynolds Center.
Reynolds Coliseum is Georgia Tech. Oh, you got me, Coach. Well, let's stop now because we're taking too much time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow us on the Full Court Network. We will be back next week on the Full Court Press, College Basketball Coaches Show.